Greetings, I am David, creator of DG Movies.
There will be no mercy.
Back again with another commentary. A bit of 90s nostalgia, and it is The Fifth Element. Now, I believe this came out in 97, so I must have been 8 at the time. I didn't see this at cinemas. I remember seeing it a lot on VHS as a kid, and I just remember enjoying it for its craziness, its great action, wonderful visuals, the world it's created, and yeah, it's just a good rompy summer blockbuster sci-fi from the 90s.
So let's do this thing!
I wonder how much that Columbia lady gets for all these films, because she is a real person when you look when you do your research. But yeah, I wonder how much she gets for royalties. It's interesting seeing the cast lineup because so many are in different points in their careers, like Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman, and the late great Ian Holm, which is pretty much the reason why I'm doing this. Because when I heard of his news, I was like everyone else, I was absolutely crestfallen. Most people decided to revisit Lord of the Rings because of his character as Bilbo Baggins, but I've decided to go for this because he plays a pretty good role in this, and he does it really well. But yeah, the range of different cast members in this, in terms of different points in their career, is interesting to see, because you've got Bruce Willis, Gary Oldman, Ian Holm, who were like veterans. Bruce Willis was still the top of his game, so is Gary Oldman. And then you got like newcomers coming in, like Mila Jovovich, or Mila Jovovich, however you want to pronounce it. I think it's Jovovich, and Chris Tucker, various things like that. So yeah, be interested. But yeah, it was really interesting seeing the cast list when it came out at the time. Aziz Light.
Aziz, light!
Forgot about that. Aziz Light. It's interesting how the story begins and how much you look into it, because it's amazing that it never did a sequel, because you can explore the world in so many angles. Wow, that's a sight. To give you the scale of how big that ship is.
Aziz, light!
Much better, thank you, Aziz.
He's like, I'm not doing that. Some great practical sets in this film, and some great costumes as well. Oh yeah, I must mention the costumes are made by Jean-Paul Gaultier, which I thought was quite a cool acquisition to make. And it really shows in some of the really outlandish costumes. But with it being set in the future, you've got nothing to go against, so you can do whatever the hell you want. But it is very Jean-Paul Gaultier, which fits into the tone beautifully, as you'll see. And also the music you're hearing by Eric Serra. The late 90s was definitely his time, because I think he did the music for GoldenEye, and you can hear it, and for Leon. And you can hear the similarities, and it's really varied.
Are you German?
Are you German? That would make sense because it's 1914 at the time, because you would suspect. Just so much information to process for those characters. Like, just discover something so important to history, and now you've seen aliens for the first time. It's really films like this that makes your imagination run wild, and the reason why we go to the cinema, to be transported to these exotic places. Love how it floats. It's like Han Solo's coffin, pretty much, in The Empire Strikes Back. So that would be 2214.
Seek for you, Father.
I love that music, because that bit of music knows like it's to do with the Fifth Element.
Priest Vito Cornelius, expert of astral phenomena.
Legend.
Its structure is just solidified on the surface.
I think it's anticipating the attack.
That's
Anticipation denotes intelligence.
That's scary, that what a planet can think. It's like Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Cutter, what happened, Cutter? Did you destroy it?
I'm about to, sir.
Priest knows they're gonna die. Great. Look at the contrast in colours. He's got the light then and the evil of red. And here's our star. Love the gadgets in this. There's so many cool little gadgets. I couldn't live in a room that small. It's so stupid. It's almost like halls of residence. Oh, I can't wait to see Chris Tucker's introduction. Sabrina Ruby Rod. That's so weird. Why would you have that thing on your head just to make it look like the hallway and then surprise them? It's so weird.
Take your time.
I love how he just puts the pressure on the guy with the gun. Great imagination. And that was great character development as well. That it was done in so many different ways. Like there was the visual stuff with the pictures and the trophies, and there was conversation on the phone. So yeah, really nice character development already. So you already know what type of person he is. Oh, I felt really sorry for the Mondoshuans at this moment, because they're a peaceful species and they just got gunned down. Imagine waiting for all those.
Father, this is government business now.
Imagine waiting for all those centuries,
The rescue team has reported
then just then to be shot down. That's great. That with the UV lighting. Now this sequence is great, along with the music. The music's phenomenal. It's basically a 3D printer. This is great physical acting here. Yeah, I remember Mila Jovovich has done some films in the past, but this was probably seen as her big breakthrough. But oh, this is a great lesson for anyone who's starting acting.
If you want out, you're going to have to learn to develop those communication skills.
Yeah, it shows a lot of arrogance to people in power. Kind of reminds me of like the British Empire. Perfect. He's just blown away. Again, love this piece of music by Eric Serra. And this revelation moment is great as well. This is the iconic scene with the costume that a lot of people cosplay. Look at that. That's gorgeous. And then just her shock of like how times have changed and stuff like that. Or she's in this world that she's just not aware of. She's basically just been reborn, I guess, as it were. And just processing everything, it's all a bit much, but oh, it looks gorgeous.
Put your hands on the floor. Do you understand me?
She doesn't. It's amazing how much of a legacy that costume has made in various Comic-Con conventions. Now this is a moment. Look at that image. Oh. Brave to do that. I mean, look at the speed she's going at here. Imagine. Boom. I wonder what language they're actually created for this. If it's been like what it's been inspired by.
I understand boom.
Bada boom.
Big.
Big bada boom. Bada bang boom.
Boom.
Yeah, big bada boom.
Bada boom.
Bada boom.
Boom, big bada boom.
Oh, look at that face of innocence. That's when his ice cool persona comes into play.
Thank
thank you for your cooperation.
I always like how the police end everything with that in this film. Right, for any Red Dwarf aficionados, that is Captain Hollister from Red Dwarf. Product placement. So that's Captain Hollister from Red Dwarf.
Play it soft. Play it soft. Gotta play it hard.
I love how varied the score goes. It's like really worldwide. It like explores different parts of the world, and it weirdly works because I think just the general quirkiness of it all, it just manages to work. I've always liked this bit because when you go to the very depths of the city, it kind of reminds me like it's going back into history. Like this was what it used to be. Very well executed, very good feint.
Lulu.
I wonder how many people are named after Lulu. Oh, yeah, I wonder how many Lulus there are in the world.
I was on my way over to see you when a big fair fell on my lap.
He must be a football fan. There's a Brazil pennant there behind him.
And good.
It's interesting that they got the same type of microwave technology that's in Back to the Future Part 2, so fingers crossed it will become a reality. There he is. Look at Gary. Look at the state of Gary Oldman there. I didn't realise until many years later, after seeing this, that that's Gary Oldman, because before I didn't realise who Gary Oldman was, and just seeing him then, he's almost unrecognisable.
Okay? You just put it like that.
Danko.
Danko. I love the way she like loosens the English a bit to make us sound like she's learning.
Agnon, is that you? What an ugly face.
I like the voice he's put on.
Take it off. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Your time for revenge is at hand.
It's almost Deep South America. This is a cool gun, by the way.
Riders and left. One shot. Replay sends every following shot to the same location.
That's a really cool feature.
This case is empty. What do you mean?
Nice cut and nice subversion as well. Really well done.
This.
Now that'll save women a lot of time.
Weddings? Not really.
Those head things are really weird.
Mr. Who?
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg. His outfit is very, it reminds me of the cap that Marty McFly had in Back to the Future Part 2. There's a lot of links now to Back to the Future Part 2. It's interesting. They could make good a companion pieces almost now. I bet people watching this for the first time, a bit like me, were just bemused by it because it moves at such a pace. It's something totally new, and you just have to process like just so much stuff. But I think it moves at such a pace that you just don't have time to take a breather, and that's probably what makes it really enjoyable. This is so weird, this bit. It feels so out of tone, and yet it feels perfectly in tone at the same time. That's what makes this film so quirky and strange. That creature's so weird. What is that for anyway? What is that feature for? As you can see, I have now put the lights on because it's gotten so dark outside because of the weather that I've had to put the lights on. So just so you're aware of any differences in the look of it.
Save the world.
I love this entire sequence coming up. It's very, very clever.
Major Iceboard will accompany you as your wife.
She reminds me of less grotesque Fran from Dodgeball.
Meet Fran Stalinaskevich Davidovitsky.
Oh. Major! The three of us won't fit in there.
That must be a big fridge to be 3 people deep.
People lie.
People lie.
On vacation, we're on a mission.
What kind of mission?
We have to save the world, my son.
He's thinking, what is everyone on today?
Save the world.
I just love how clever the plot moves along and how people are basically after the same thing but in different routes and how they intertwine.
Sir, are you classified as human? Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
What an answer. Smoke you! Wrong answer. That was crucial to move his name card to the other door by the priest.
Oh, so sorry. Oh, I forgot about the auto wash.
Oh, not the auto wash.
Auto wash.
Auto wash.
Very good. Auto wash. So, you know, this piece of music is interesting because it reminds me of the love theme in Blade Runner, which I think has a lot of similarities. I love the way that just score bounces around from all sorts of different types of music. He's just petrified at everything. He's so jumpy. She looks gorgeous. The girl on the right. She really works the shaped headlock. Multipass. Lilo Dallas Multipass.
We're newlyweds. Just met. You know how it is. Bump into each other, sparks happen. Yeah, she knows it's a multipass. Yeah, anyway.
He's like, shut up and get on with it.
I know she's also so fragile, so human. You know what I mean?
No, because he's a robot.
You want some more?
It sounds oriental, that. You want some more?
I don't want to go to Egypt.
You don't want to do anything. You're too scared.
Miss. Multipass.
Multipass. It wouldn't surprise me if she's a model. Here we go. Chris Tucker does such a great job with this. It's so out there. It's so over the top, but it's just a wonderful... Oh, it's just such a wonderful difference in tone that makes it work. Unbelievable! The outfit's the same. The hair looks like a corn on the cob. Oh, what an entrance! Goodness me! Oh, he's what a character this guy is.
Tomorrow from 5 to 7, will you please act like you have more than a 2-word
vocabularies? Oh my god! Oh wow! Just this whole second half is just Chris Tucker stealing the show. The contrast between Bruce Willis and Chris Tucker's characters is it's like chalk and cheese. But it works so well. It's very erotic attire for the air hostesses, but I guess it's in keeping with the Jean-Paul Gaultier style. Now some reggae. I would love to sleep like that just instantly.
Thank you.
Again, totally shift in music.
Yeah, everything's ready, Captain.
This is weird.
I don't want one position, I want all.
I want all positions. They look like trebles from Star Trek, but with a bit of Gremlins in there as well. I love this build-up as well, where it keeps cutting between each character's agenda.
Sending radio wavelengths.
What does it want with radio waves?
Maybe he wants to make a call.
And yet that's scarily true.
It's Mr. Shadow, and it's Mr. Shadow on the line.
I like what she's using there. It's kind of like, it looks like a pencil sharpener, but it's actually changing colour to her nails. Love all this instant makeover stuff. It's quite clever. This is a tense sequence. The voices sound so scary. He's sweating and quivering so much in his voice and in his body because he knows who it is. I've always been kind of disturbed by this sequence because when he starts bleeding, look at that. Oh, not only is it coming from his head and trickling in a very heavy amount, but it's black, and that just looks so scary. That there's so much evil in there that his presence is making him bleed from his head. The visual effects are alright. I mean, yes, they look dated, but I don't think it detracts the value of the film that much. But you can tell they are a bit primitive.
Gentlemen, get something to wear.
Oh, what service?
Thank you.
What service, and what a room! Look at that. Gorgeous architecture. What is that animal? That's a rug. That's creepy. Hey, here he is. Lee Evans. One of the greatest modern British comedians. This was his stint of trying to be a film star. He did well in this, I thought, but the medallion I thought was a bit odd. I didn't think it was for him, but at least he gave it a go. Such a mysterious character, the diva, because she can obviously sense that she's there, that her presence is there.
Time to join Ruby Ride.
Love that. It's run like a ship, even though it's technically like a sort of space sea ship because it doesn't go in the water. Paradise! Look at that outfit. I love the roses around the neckline. I wonder if future radio shows will work like this, where it's just a wireless headset and you just get to walk around and there's no studio. I love the echo on that.
Showtime.
Certainly is. This is a hell of a scene. The design of the diva is fascinating in terms of like what her species could be. I assume she's an actual opera singer. It's a very moving part of the film. It's a nice change of pace as well. I love how the other scenes that are cut during this, the way the music's played, is similar to the pacing of the other scenes. Like now, it's still getting a bit tense and exciting, and the music's and the diva starts to amp up her music as well, and then total shift. It's so weird, this bit, and yet it doesn't feel out of place. It's such a fascinating film, this, for so many ways. What performance! What a performance! Oh yeah, I've just remembered. I forgot that in this film, not once does Corbin Dallas and Zorg ever meet, and yet they are the protagonist and antagonist. That's a really, really strange thing that you never actually realise until like you might have read something in an article about it. But it's weird because you never really notice it. But that's such a unique part of the film, or a unique feature. I remember gasping a lot when the diva got shot.
I know this music.
Great line.
Let's change the beat.
Love that. Great 2 lines there, very well written.
Somebody hear this? Come and get me.
I'm in the first round. Oh, poor Ruby.
The stones.
I love this sequence. Now this is good acting by Gary Oldman. It totally subverts the audience.
They're not here.
I love that because he opens it and he's laughing and you think he's got them and then he looks again. Yep, they're definitely gone, but that's laughing as in like he knows he's in trouble. See now, all this really makes me wonder about what the diva is, because if she can consume those 4 stones and still live, then it does make you wonder what is she?
Sorry. Things will be okay.
Oh, Chris Tucker, you are a genius.
Don't worry, sir. I know my man. He'll calm things down.
Boom! Guns blazing. That's discreet. Whoa! Look at that! Oh, but they had fun doing that. This is weird.
Yes, the gun. Yeah.
Again, another strange character. Oh.
Thanks, Ray.
Cheers, Ray. Thanks for coming, Ray. Oh, that scream. It's a shame Eric Serra's not used more in film scores, because I still think he's got more to give. How does Chris Tucker do it? Just to stay that high pitched. Oh, just what a scream. 10. Nice transition. Whoa.
Where did he learn to negotiate like that?
I wonder.
He's like, he's not with me. It's amazing that the music, the tone and shift changed from distress because he was looking after Levy, and then when they realised the bomb was there, it was a comedy sequence, and it's just amazing how it can still flow straight into it, and yet still not just take you out of the film. Look at that! That's the closest they ever get to seeing each other. That is so strange how that. I wonder if they decided. I wonder how they decided to do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now 7 p.m. Time for the news. See you tomorrow for a new adventure. It's the best show I ever did.
I'm not surprised. No, being so action-packed. Oh no, this bit's great because the music to this really reflects her emotions and her understanding of war, the darkest aspect of human civilization, just absorbing all that information in a short space of time. Just that almost like crescendo type moments with the music, and you can feel the terror in her. It's very well done.
That's it. Match up the symbols. Go.
Yeah, it's like a Crystal Maze game, and he's the lateral thinker. So yeah, the speed that planet was going at, you would think it would be done in seconds, and yet they said 3 minutes. So it kind of loses the logic around the speed of going at, and it just suddenly slows down for those 3 minutes. Of all the people to save the world, Ruby Rod is part of it, and David as well. Just what a bunch these lot are. One match, unbelievable. One match to save the world. After all that adventure, it all comes down to love. Unbelievable. Can you imagine how much energy that is? Wow. Look at Ruby's like, what did I just witness? It's worth it, once every 5,000 years. Now we've got 2 moons.
Yes!
What? Oh, what an exit! Unbelievable. He's unbelievable, isn't he? There you have it. Well, I really enjoyed that. It still amazes me how quirky and strange it all is, and yet it manages to still massively entertain you. And it's so amazing how the shift in tone never takes you out of the film. It still hooks you in, and it's such a strange piece of work that I don't think it would have A, been made now, and B, be successful as it was back then, because it fits into that bracket of films like Valerian or Alita that when they came out now, they were just like middling reviews and just no real franchise out of it, whereas this was a huge success. It was a great summer blockbuster, and yeah, it's a shame that it never got a sequel, but I'm kind of glad that it doesn't, because I think if there was a sequel now, it just wouldn't work, because Luc Besson, the director, has such a unique European style that it would have only worked in the 90s, because that's when Luc Besson was probably at his best when he did Leon and this. But yeah, really enjoyed it. The performances are great. Mila Jovovich gives a great performance all the way through, mainly from a physical standpoint, but that look of innocence really worked well. Bruce Willis as the action star worked really well. Chris Tucker steals the show in the second half as just this outlandish radio DJ. Ian Holm uses his experience well as a supporting role. Gary Oldman's great as the villain. Yeah, there's lots of unique elements about it that just makes it stand out and therefore more memorable compared to other films of its genre. But I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to hearing your views on this particular commentary, and I'm excited to see what choices I hear from you in terms of what you want from future commentaries. And until then, see you later.